Oh my god. Oh, I completely forgot I was leveling this character with Veteran's Boots. I was sitting here the whole stream freaking out why I was being so trash.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 146. As always, Mike answered lots of great questions from the community and gave us some thoughts on the future, maybe the near future. And we're going to jump into that in 1 second. First, huge shout out to a brand new partner, the sponsor of this video, the Crimson Market. Now, if you don't know about the Crimson Market, I like to explain this as a modern day gaming club, and they do a lot of really cool things. But the coolest thing they do is build a custom, and I mean truly custom PC every single month, like what you see on the screen right now, which is the 11th Hour Games clock for one of the PCs that they built, and they're building another very cool clock, and they give them away every 30 days. And the next PC that's getting given away is the Transformers PC right here. And at time of recording, the next giveaway is on Woody's stream in 18 hours. So that giveaway is coming up very, very soon. If you want a chance to win the Bumblebee PC, right now the Crimson Market has the golden ticket to enter the club for free for 30 days Royal Tier. It is the first link in the description. Check out the Crimson Market, and thank you so much for being a new partner to this channel. All right, let's jump into Dev Chat 146. Mike's going to start off by answering your question between ranged and melee disparities.
Are there any plans to bring down clear speed of range builds or increase the speed of melee? Or does it seems like loading, or if that seems loading, is EHG happy with the discrepancy between the two?
It's a good question.
We don't try to, how do I say this? Ideally, there wouldn't be a distinction made by the player base in that category.
But there is.
Just at all. It would just be like a different types of characters.
Moving on to nerfs.
Build balance in 1.1 is still pretty bad, with many builds that do 2k corruption still. Is this because you're still trying to figure out the best way to balance right, or you're afraid the massive nerfs angering the community, or mix of both? I mean, there's always things that slip through as just stuff we didn't consider sometimes. There's also the having insane like the rhetoric around a nerf being insane or something like that is unfortunate. I think there's definitely room for some more nerfs. There's room for buffs and nerfs all over the place. There always is. Like there's that shouldn't be a surprise really. I think the focus is generally more on the like average player experience. Ooh.
I'm gonna stop Mike right there. EHG, I don't know, a few months ago, Mike was talking, or someone from the studio was talking, and was high-end content, right? 1,000 corruption. You are talking about less than a fraction, like 0.001% of the community actually push that. And they were talking about how 90% of the community don't even make it to empowered content. So remember that a lot of times when you're watching Twitch, you're watching YouTube, you think you are the majority that's pushing 1,000 corruption, and that's not the case. EHG needs to balance the game around the majority of players. Big changes coming to Sentinel.
Please fix Sentinel DR. A 200% increase to Ironclad DR wouldn't break anything, and will begin to balance Sentinel with capabilities of other classes, please and thank you. There's a lot happening with Sentinel right now.
Really?
There's quite a lot happening with Sentinel right now, because there's some big changes to some really key. There's some really big changes to a really key Sentinel skill, that's causing ripples throughout the whole thing right now. I don't know when that's gonna be done, because it's a pretty big change.
We were trying to guess what skill it was. Our 3 guesses were Rive, Healing Hands, or Volatile Reversal. We think one of those is going to be getting an update. New dungeon?
Are we getting a new dungeon for the Primal Legendary? No, and there'll be some more info to come on that.
Nope. The weekly question on sets.
Getting closer to 1.2, can you give us a small hint about the set gear changes? There's no major set gear changes. Like, I'm assuming you're talking about like set items, like green items. We have not implemented the. I know we've been teasing a large change to set items at some point. It's not coming in 1.2.
Someday. I think this is a good idea.
What do you think about removing move speed as an affix off boots, since it's pretty much instant take for any build, any base move speed like 0.25 per level or something to make up for it? I don't think it is auto take on everything. I mean, most things do, yes. But I don't know, I think it feels really good to get that those pair of boots that, you know, like you put them on, you're like, moving this slow, and you find that pair of boots and you're like, yeah, moving faster, and that's not actually that big of a difference, but you know what I mean. When you do find those big move speed boots, speaking of which, I need to find some big move speed boots. I think having those I think we really want to do the exact opposite of what you're suggesting here, actually, specifically, because I think having those jumps, especially on things like movement speed, I think movement speed is like the poster child for this argument, actually. And having it be in bigger jumps is, it feels more impactful and it feels more significant when you know it goes from like 1 to 10. You can really get that. You can feel that impact a lot better.
I think what they can do is they could change the roll ranges on the implicit of the base. So movement speed 8 to 45, something like that, where the base of the boots is where you get the majority of your movement speed, and you can re-roll roll ranges through crafting, which frees up the mandatory movement speed. I think you can fix it both ways. Updates to the Bazaar.
More improvements to the auction house next cycle. Yeah, there's still more improvements to the auction house coming. There's more UI updates coming. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure which ones have rolled out yet or not. But there are more UI updates coming. There's more search functionality coming. There's more sorting functionality coming. There's stuff coming. It's been a little slow because we've had to change some database stuff and some server stuff and some API stuff and some, you know, there's things we've had to fix to make this functional the way it needs to be functional.
But it's coming. Make it happen, Mike. PvP.
Low level dueling. I would love to have low level dueling. Oh my goodness. I think low level dueling is my favorite part of PvP in general. No, my favorite part of PvP in D2 was playing a PvP character in random like farming groups and have people show up and try and grief you and be like, well, I'm good for PvP, let's go, buddy. That's my favorite part of that.
Can you bring that to last Epoch, please? All right, everyone, we have come to the final question for Dev Chat 146. Mike, as always, thank you for continuing your Friday live streams. The community truly appreciates it. It is awesome to be able to connect and ask questions directly to EHG. And I'm allowing Mike to take out this stream talking about randomization in the Monolith, Nemesis, exiled mages, and maybe something coming in the future. First, please like, share, and subscribe if you think I have earned it. Check out the Discord. We're approaching 4,200 members. We have actually a giveaway for a free copy of Last Epoch coming up. All you got to do is join the Discord, and we give away a game every 2 weeks. Lastly, check out my Patreon. It is the best way to support into the future. And we have movie night coming up this Tuesday, where we're going to be watching Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. For Patreon, we do a game night and a movie night every month. Last month, we watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, so this month is Bogus Journey. I'm done. Mike, take it away.
Can you please make new mechanics like Mage and Mages and Nemesis to spawn in all zones for the cycle where they were introduced? And are there plans to have a way to increase chances of old mechanics to spawn? I don't think we have plans to have ways to let you manipulate which mechanics spawn just yet. That's not true. Not next patch. But I think that, yeah. I think we are interested in having ways to adjust. I'm like remembering things we were just talking about yesterday. Yes, I think there's having ways to, once we have more mechanics, having ways to say like, hey, I really want more of this one. Hey, I really want more of this one. I think would be useful. And yes, we are planning more mechanics like Nemesis and Mages. So some of them will. So I think the Nemesis is a little bit high scope. Both like individual player interactions. So like. Every time you find one of them, like there's that menu that opens up things you have to do with it, and then the amount of power that it generates as well. All those things combined make it a little heavy of a system to have in every single zone. I think if we were going to have Nemesis in every single zone, we'd probably tone it down a little bit. Maybe like one less item slot. Maybe you couldn't actually. Maybe the egg would disappear type thing. You know, things like that where it was just like a little bit more streamlined, a little bit less decision making. Would probably be what needed to happen to make it be an every zone type mechanic. A lot of that comes down to testing though. Oh my god, it came to life. No one could have seen that coming. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, we are looking at more mechanics in that category. There's one we just slipped in that's very low scope, tons of fun, and then there's pitches for more of those that we're doing next week, and the one I'm pitching is every single zone already. So yeah, like this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier in the stream. I think the biggest criticism we had from the Nemesis system was that it wasn't in every zone. And people wanted it in every zone. Impossible. I think instead of changing Nemesis, instead of like stripping Nemesis down and putting it in every zone, I'd be more interested in having just a little bit more information on which zones it is in. So you're less wondering if it's there or not. The wondering if it's there or not does help incentivize exploration a little bit, to be like, ooh, should I check a little bit more to see if there's one? Maybe not. Which is something that we do like. I think there's a lot of things that kind of need to work together to make that a lot of fun, though. So there's some other stuff that's going to happen first. I don't think I can jump. Oh, we'll let me jump that. Sweet.